Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we're in a beautifully painted new Lightning. That's right, we're showing off the new permanent camo for the Lightning, and also I think this is the Lightning's debut on this channel. British destroyers are one of my favorite classes of destroyers. It's them and the American DDs that have my heart. And I think this is the first time we've brought out Lightning. We're going to go over all the new camos, show you how to get them. But also, let's go ahead and do Comment of the Day. Comment of the Day goes out to someone who leaves a comment on one of our previous videos. Today's Comment of the Day goes out to Syntheli, and he says, could have called the title Balti Buff, Missed Opportunity. Yeah, I know. We all shorten Baltimore to Balti, but, you know, it is what it is. I like Baltimore Buff, but yeah, Balti Buff is a nice little more succinct word usage there. Anyways, we're here on Sea of Fortune, and if we look up at the screen, there's only one other destroyer on the enemy team, and we have some special skills to hunt down the other destroyer. Of course, it is a mirror of us. It is a fellow Lightning who is on the other team, but importantly, that pretty much gives us a 1 in 3 chance of just being able to uncontest cap this location, and we can see he's in B, so we're going to go ahead and take the A cap. Now, you may be seeing this beautiful new paint job, and you're like, how do I get this new paint? Well, you just go to the camo screen. It will cost you 75 paint to create, and you will be able to create it. This ship, along with the Icarus, the Jervis, the Colorado, the Iowa, the Benson, and the Fletcher, all received these historical camos with this update. I'll go ahead and show them off up at the top of the screen. I really like them, and I really like that Wargaming is letting us have some more unique permanent camos, just because permanent camos are a very powerful thing in this game. They, of course, once maxed out, do give you the ability to have a 4.5% buff to your concealment and to dispersion. So there, or to incoming fire, I should say, which are both excellent things. We go ahead and capped A, and now we're going to go ahead and try and engage at B. From the map, we can see they don't really have any support units around B. So if we end up engaging anyone at B, we should be a one-on-one with the other destroyer, and that is one of our objectives. 1, flip any caps that they have, and 2, if we can, eliminate their destroyers so that we have the only destroyers on the field. We get spotted. He outspots us by just a little. His Lightning pops up. He goes ahead and deploys smoke. Of course, British smoke, very short, and we're going to go ahead and deploy our sonar for 2 reasons. 1, he's turning sideways, and if he's doing that, we know he's launching torps. And 2, these ships have sonar, and they can see right through that smoke. We can see what he's doing. He goes ahead and launches those torpedoes, and if we didn't really see him, we might have reversed straight into him. Thankfully, we did have sonar going. They fly straight past us, but unfortunately for our Grover Kun first, we did do at least the bare minimum, which is spot the torpedoes as early as possible for him. We screened them, and unfortunately, he does end up taking a hit or 2 from these torps, which, hey, at least it wasn't the full salvo, because that could have been very nasty for him. But we've gone ahead and dropped spot on the sonar, which means he is equidistantly away from us because we have the same sonar. We have the same spotting range, which means he's cleared the cap, which means we might as well move on in. He ceded it to us. He has no support units in the area. He's gone and run away. So we might as well move on in, set up camp, and flip this middle spawn, prevent their team from taking any more points, and start our team really, really racking them up just in case we need them in the end game. And we go ahead and start securing the cap. Lightning is just, let me just say, I love the Lightning. I love the British destroyers. If you're not aware, British destroyers, they are filled with utility. I think they have 3 key attributes that make me really, really enjoy them. 1, they're forward-based guns, which really encourage an aggressive playstyle. The large amount of smokes, of course, the smoke is a very short-lasting smoke, but you get a ton of them, and usually by the time it's about dispersed, you can go ahead, you're exposed for about 10 seconds, and then you can go ahead and light another smoke, which is very, very useful for being able to pester ships at range. And then the torpedoes. I am a huge fan of single fire torps. You will see me use them pretty much exclusively, because I think they just add to the utility of a ship. They really let you tailor the kind of shots you want to take. Of course, they do take a little bit longer to launch, but I think it is completely worth it. Anyway, Lightning, he hasn't seen us, but we see him. We're going to go ahead and set up these distraction torps and really just spread them all over. That is one of the advantages we have with this, is that we are going to be able to spread them way wider than the default widespread. And then we're going to start turning in. And that's because he's turning out, and that is one thing you don't want to do in the Lightning. If you look at the gun placement, it's 2 up front, 1 in the rear. If you go ahead and turn to the rear, you're only getting 1/3 of your firepower down range. When you do that, you're cutting your DPM by 1/3. If you cut your DPM by 1/3 and your enemy still either has 2/3 or his full firepower, you're gonna get hurt, and that's just what happened right there. Next, we go ahead, see Iowa is somewhat in range of our torpedoes. We're gonna go ahead, pull the Hermit Crab, steal this guy's smoke, and slow on down here. See if we can go ahead and start pestering these ships. We pull out, immediately spotted because we didn't check the smoke. We deploy our smoke, and we're going to just go ahead and start pestering the Cleveland. Now, to you Cleveland players, you may realize something that I totally forgot. A little thing called radar range. Yep, we are well within the Cleveland's radar range. We get a little cocky, and he's going to go ahead and teach us a lesson here. We immediately realize we mess up, throw it in full reverse, but at this point we are very much exposed, and it's going to be all about mitigating the damage that we can, trying to survive the length of this radar. We'll go ahead and keep firing. We're in the smoke, so once that radar peters out, we will be able to hide again, and we might as well do the DPM while we are spotted. There's no penalty for us to go ahead and fire, and as we can see, radar finally dropped, and we can go ahead and take this moment to kind of reassess the battlefield, right? If we look, we know 2 ships are off to that side. We know the Cleveland and Iowa are over there. And then there's a large mass of ships pushing towards the other side who've just lost another ship. And at this point, the Iowa and Cleveland are sailing away and know we are there. We are no longer going to be a threat to them, especially because Cleveland can easily gun us down and Iowa's sailing away and can pretty much outspeed us, right? He's going to sail around 30 knots. We're at 35. For us to try to throw torps on him while he's sailing away is going to be very difficult. On the other end, we have 3 battleships pushing together with a cruiser or 2. Like, over here is where our team needs us. We can see we have 1 battleship sailing away and 1 cruiser holding the line. So it's time for us to go ahead, reassess, and realize it's a better play for us to start assisting with these battleships. Also, of course, we're a destroyer. We are designed to take on battleships, or we're at least designed to provide support, provide spotting, provide what our team needs to be able to take these guys down. And they're going to need our help. We're not going to see a Jean Bart take on a Yamato, a Conqueror, a Lenin, and I think there's a couple of cruisers over here too. We're just not going to see it. So we first lay down our first set of torps over on where the Lenin is predicted to go and give it a little bit of a spread just in case he decides to move around, and we'll hold our next set of torpedo tubes for that. One of the things you have to remember when using the single fire torps is, unless you fire the whole salvo, you won't start reloading those tubes. So whenever you fire 1 or 2, it's much more important to fire the rest. And this right here is one of the reasons why I love single fire torps. 1, we just get 4 hits right here on our previous one, and 2, that angle right there. If we had used a normal narrow spread of torps on that last set of firing, we would have lost a couple of torps to the angle that we were firing. But because we were able to single fire, we were able to get the best angle possible for what we thought was going to be the predicted path of the Lenin. And now that we fired those, we're going to go swing around wide on the island. We don't want to follow our torps just because they are very much a directional indicator. And we end up seeing that Conqueror ends up taking the hit 10,000K 3 times in a row, bringing our damage up to 100,000, and he looks like he took on a little bit of flooding. And now we're going to continue to raise out that angle. It definitely looks like both of those guys are going to be coming in towards our 1 cruiser. So it is our job to go ahead and try to get the best angle possible for our next torp launch. We have the torps now, a little bit off angle, but that's okay. We just kind of want to get those torps in the water, and we're able to spread them out and kind of shoot them where we could guess we want them to go. That is, once again, one of the great things about the single fire is you can do these really wonky spreads that can throw some commanders off guard, just because they're so used to seeing the usual widespread of other torps, that being able to kind of spread them out one way or another ends up making it a little bit more confusing and gets you a better hit rate, I feel. But, you know, that's just me. Anyways, Conqueror sailing Mogami as well. Conqueror goes down to our friendly Yamato, and now it's just the Mogami. We're going to go ahead, fire the torps off in a couple of random sections, and then pop our smoke. We still have our battleship nose in right now, so we'll go ahead and start firing at this Mogami. He has about half his health left. We can go ahead and easily sit in the smoke. Yamato taking care of the spotting for us, so we don't really need to pick up the slack. We just want to go ahead, start a fire on him, start some damage, and help out with the assist. And unfortunately, we just miss with those torps. But unfortunately, our Yamato goes down. Luckily, he's still spotted, and he ends up popping his sonar, and we are exposed. We switch over to AP just to see if we can hit through the narrow hull and go down. End the game with 115,000 damage and a fire on the Mogami. But, you know, we end up going on for the win. We outperformed the Yamato, who nearly had a Kraken, just because we played the objectives. We captured those two locations, and we did some really good damage to those battleships. Guys, that's the Lightning. She's one of my favorite destroyers, and her in her brand new dress. Look how little health that Mogami has. Anyways, he goes down here. We take the win. Guys, my name's Tomboy601. If you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.